Hey everybody, it is week 3 of September. Let's talk about what I watched, even though you're watching this probably the final week of October, getting ready for Halloween. It's right around the corner. We're going to only talk about 4 movies today, but I'll do a big tease here. We have 2 movies to talk about in theaters, 2 movies on physical media. Everything was a first time watch. And one of the things we're going to talk about is the new top of 2021 title for me is a movie a lot of people have not heard about, a lot of people have not seen. I'm going to be pushing this one heavy. I actually pre-ordered it on Blu-ray already because it's a movie that I definitely will watch again. And it's one that a lot of people need to check out. So we will get there. First, the most surprising first time watch of this video, one that everybody's like, what do you mean first time watch? And I mean first time watch. I had never seen this movie before until about 3 weeks ago when I watched it for the first time, which is what I'm talking about here. And it is the M. Night Shyamalan classic, The Sixth Sense. Yes, I had never seen this movie. Obviously, the movie has been spoiled for me. Which is it's a shame going into this film knowing the twist that is involved with the film. It stinks because if I didn't know the twist and it happened, I would have, like, my mind would have been blown away. So to have it ruined for me kind of sucks. And but just a well done movie. M. Night Shyamalan really did knock this out of the park. Creates suspense and creepy imagery in a PG-13 film, which not a lot of people can do without cheap jump scares. This movie is creepy. It is scary. You'll see next week, we actually showed RJ a few M. Night Shyamalan movies. But this one I just think is a bit too mature for him. I don't think he would enjoy this one. But he really enjoyed the 2 we're going to talk about next week. So, let's see. Holy. Haley Joel Osment is fantastic as the lead in this movie. He gives a great child actor performance. He plays Cole in the movie. Great. Bruce Willis, who plays Dr. Malcolm Crowe, is good as well. But Haley Joel steals this movie. Creepy visuals, movies crafted excellently, and just one of the better M. Night Shyamalan movies I've ever seen. Sixth Sense gets a 4 out of 5. If you guys are like me and hadn't seen it, definitely check this one out. Don't keep putting it off. It is very good. I'm glad that I've watched it now. Very creepy film. Next up was a movie we saw in theaters that I've been very excited to see. It is a movie called The Card Counter, which stars Oscar Isaac. So I've never seen First Reformed, which was Paul Schrader's last movie. I know Joe Martinez is probably yelling at his phone right now. I need to watch the movie. I own the movie. I bought the movie when it first came out on physical from somebody, and just have not watched it. I know I need to watch it. I will. I promise I'll watch it. But spoken very highly of. So was very curious to see Card Counter. As soon as I heard the title, I was like, ooh, is this about poker? Is it about gambling? It is. So I was on board. And is the movie about poker and gambling? Sort of. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but what I expected the movie to be about was basically a plot device, honestly. But we'll leave it at that. There are scenes that talk about card counting and blackjack. There are scenes that involve poker. One particular scene that takes place at like a diner was the highlight of the film for me. I'll leave it at that. There's also a couple really cool sequences in this film, the way they were shot, but that's when the movie starts kind of like, I don't want to say getting off topic, but definitely not about cards and about other stuff. So I also had read that Shia LaBeouf was initially attached to be in this film. It ended up not working out, and Ty Sheridan came in to replace him. And Ty Sheridan was good, but the more I thought about it, Shia LaBeouf in this role would have made a lot more sense. And like I said, I'm trying to keep spoilers out of this big time because the movie can be spoiled. It's one of those movies where you shouldn't really know too much going in. Oscar Isaac, who I normally am not a big fan of, was really good in this movie and definitely made it watchable for sure. But like I said, the movie kind of meanders and the payoff just doesn't do it for me. Bridget and I both thought something else was going to happen / should have happened. It would have made things like kind of more impactful, but instead it went a different way, and it just, I don't know, I was pretty disappointed. Like I said, there was a particular shot in this film that had some like heavy metal music and very crazy visuals with a different filming style. Very cool. And like I said, there was a scene in a diner that I really enjoyed that involved the story of a poker hand. So as a poker fan, I was a fan of that. But the movie, I give it 3 out of 5. Definitely not one I need to rewatch. Won't be buying this on physical. So spoiler alert, this isn't the movie I was talking about. But yeah, it is. It's okay. So card counter, a 3 out of 5. Next up, a movie on DVD, a movie I'd never seen before. I believe it was the only full-length James Gunn movie I'd never seen before. So it was a movie called Slither. I've seen this movie advertised for years. I've seen it while hunting all the time, but just didn't really know much about it. And then after I watched Suicide Squad, I was like, I've never seen Slither. Like, I should watch it. We're getting ready to enter spooky movie season. So written and directed by James Gunn, starring Nathan Fillion and Elizabeth Banks. And it's a fun monster movie. Also, Michael Rooker's in the movie. Couldn't forget that. And it's basically about a creature that shows up in this local town, small town, and starts infecting people, and it's these little worm things that are creepy looking, but it's a fun, over-the-top R-rated horror movie. Lots of gore, lots of language, and all the good stuff that's in a 90-minute horror movie. Also a body invasion film, I guess we'd call this, a body invasion or a monster film. Dark humor and just fun. Like I said, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, and Michael Rooker are all very good in the movie. It builds enough of a backstory to get you interested in the town, and then it's just like a 95-minute gore fest, which it's fun. So Slither, 3.5 out of 5. Definitely a fun flick that I recommend checking out. And then we have one more movie to talk about, guys, and that is the movie that I said overtook the top of my 2021 rankings so far this year. And that's a film called Blue Bayou. So, like I said, some of you guys are probably watching this going, what is Blue Bayou? Is Rick making up films? No, Blue Bayou is a movie that stars, I better have names written down here. Justin Chon, who is the writer, director, producer, and star of the film, and Alicia Vikander. So, this movie centers around Antonio LeBlanc, who's played by Justin Chon, who's a Korean-American man. He was born in Korea and came to America at the age of 3. He was in and out of foster homes. 30 years later, he has a checkered past. He's gotten in trouble for stealing motorcycles. He's married to Kathy, who's played by Alicia Vikander. They have a baby on the way. He has a stepdaughter, Jessie. And then there's an incident at a grocery store, which is in the trailer for the film, where 2 police officers confront the couple, and he ends up getting arrested. And that's all I'm going to tell you about the movie. I will say that this movie was absolutely fantastic. When the movie ended, I was sitting there teary-eyed. The last 20 minutes of this film, I was highly emotional. I had tears in my eyes. I had a lump in my throat. But There's a roller coaster of emotions in this film. It is, like I said, I'm keeping my description of it to a minimum. Like I said, Justin Chon, fantastic in the film. Alicia Vikander is great. The little girl who plays Jessie, Sydney Kowalski, who is a dead ringer for Alicia Vikander's daughter. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that was her daughter in real life. She plays Jessie as well. Or not as well. I've already talked about that. She plays Jessie. She's great in the role, especially for a young actress. But the movie centers around immigration issues in the United States, and it talks about real issues that are prevalent in the country, but in a fictionalized story. The movie is fantastic. Like I said, I pre-ordered it on Blu-ray. Groove.com has it. So if you guys order from Groove, I've talked about them numerous times. I believe you can use, I believe it's Loyal20 or Groove Loyal20 is a code you can use and get 20% off. So you can pre-order the movie, free shipping. I highly recommend it. It is a heavy movie for sure, but one that I thoroughly enjoyed and cannot talk about enough. Spoiler alert for the next video. When we talk about September in a whole, we're going to talk about Blue Bayou again when we talk about the surprise of the month, because I did not go into that movie expecting it to touch me the way it did and affect me the way it did. So Blue Bayou, I gave a 4.5 out of 5 to. Definitely one I'm excited to revisit in the future. Definitely one people should check out. It should be on your radar. If you have access to it, check it out. It is coming to physical from from Universal. So do yourselves a favor, check it out when it comes out in physical media. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Let me know what you guys thought of my reviews. Let me know what you've been watching during the spooky season, because this is dropping the week of Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm recording this October 10th. Next week, we're going to start talking about the spooky movies I started watching, because Slither kind of like got me rolling on time to dive into spooky movies early, because I had a list that has a ton of stuff. I still have a ton of stuff on that list. I'm already 10 days in October. I can't watch a horror movie a day. It's just not feasible for me, but we've been watching scary movies for the most part when we watch stuff at home. So also check out the links down below where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, where I rate and review all the movies I watch, my eBay store, Amazon wishlist, Blu-ray.com profile, P.O. box, and email address can all be found down below, right down there in that description box. So thank you guys for watching. As always, until next time, who's down to movie?